And we have managed to switch over to the sim. Good to go. We are making our way. We've got our live stream well established now, and we are actually showing the sim. I'm not sure what it's going to take for me to get that right. An electric shock through the keyboard. At any rate, we are making our way over toward Cape Lookout. So there will be a lighthouse here. So there are actually two that are baked into the sim, Cape Lookout here, and then also Cape Hatteras. But I have also installed freeware from Flightsim.to for the remaining lighthouses on the North Carolina coast. Right now we are making our way toward Morehead City. And we have an airfield here at Beaufort at our 11 o'clock. So welcome folks who have joined the live stream. Live stream replay will probably pick up here. If you were watching the replay, welcome. We are making our way VFR up to first flight at Kitty Hawk, and we're making our way up the North Carolina Outer Banks. We are in the Flight Simware 414 tonight. We are also using sayintentions. So you are going to hear some traffic chatter here and air traffic control conversations taking place. We were just having terrible connectivity issues last night, so we are redoing the flight tonight. Making our way up the east coast of the United States. We started in Key West, made our way this far north so far. right, so we're going to make our turn here. Camera angle out. Make our way over to the lighthouse. So the lighthouse here at Cape Lookout has a diamond black and white pattern. And if you are flying north-south, you're going to see predominantly black diamonds. East-west will give you the white diamonds as a predominant view. So very creative use of paint. Also as a navigational aid. So pretty doggone cool, actually. All right, so we have turned to the north. Now that particular lighthouse is part of the scenery in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Nothing to download there. There are lighthouses that are available for download over on Flightsim.to. And if you do download that lighthouse pack off of that website, you'll want to not activate the add-ins for Cape Hatteras and also Cape Lookout, but the rest of them are fine. So this particular cross-country trip will start it out with the Cape Lookout lighthouse, but we'll also have the add-in lighthouse at Ocracoke Island. So we'll make our way across that. We'll do a flyover there and then to Cape Hatteras. Take a look at the Cape Hatteras light, the tallest lighthouse on the East Coast. And then to Body Island. And that will conclude the lighthouse tour for this portion of the flight. But as we take off for leg number 9, we will make our way past the Corolla Lighthouse, which I think is probably the most distinctive looking of all of them, at least on the North Carolina coast. We are moving along quite nicely here. So we're probably about 6 nautical miles now north of Cape Lookout. So there is restricted military operational area airspace here. From 3 to 18,000 feet. And there is a Marine Corps outer landing field located here, Atlantic. North Carolina, it's 12 NC, 12 North Carolina. A very, very interesting airfield. It was a World War II airfield. And still has active use by Navy, Marine Corps, etc., etc. We are continuing to make our way north, 1,800 feet. There won't be a lot of handoffs from Say Intentions here, so there's that. You will hear other chatter on the flight. We'll jump outside and just kind of hang loose for a bit. myself trimmed out here. And cut on the autopilot. And get our heading mode tuned. Our way northbound. All right, so we'll go ahead and engage heading and altitude hold. And jump outside the plane. So one of the things that I mentioned on the flight last night that I deleted is that Microprose has announced preview release, I guess, of the B-17. So if you have been waiting on that to come about, then you're in luck. I think it's October the 8th that will be available. And will be launched as a preview. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be an early adopter on that one. And we do have another aircraft review video coming out this week. We'll take a look at the Grumman Albatross, available in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. And I had not flown that aircraft until a couple of weeks ago. So we'll check it out, and we'll talk about what we think. In the meantime, North Carolina 12 is at our 4 o'clock here, no, 8 o'clock, or 8 o'clock. So if you are watching the replay, just out of curiosity, I did get some feedback about folks not particularly caring for the visual appearance of my thumbnails for my cross-country live stream. So I took a peek at going back into Photoshop and doing my own. I don't think I'm going to standardize on this. It's pretty easy to create these thumbnails, but I'm going to be consistent in terms of we'll be representing the aircraft that we're using on the cross-country leg that we happen to be flying, I might include some scenery graphics depending on where we're at. At any rate, we'll see. Some folks like illustrations and some people want screenshots, but we'll give this one a shot. And I think we'll probably settle on trying to capture the lighting in the sky at what I'll call golden hour. That magical time right at sunset when things just seem to glow. But at any rate, there we go. Today's form versus substance discussion, I guess. At any rate, let me know what you think of the thumbnail. And we are coming up on Ocracoke Island, so Whiskey 95 is the airfield that provides aviation services to Ocracoke. And we're going to stay on the Pamlico Sound side of the banks here, and then we'll overfly the lighthouse here at Ocracoke Island. It's short and squatty. And you can't mention Ocracoke without talking about Blackbeard the pirate. And the shipwreck of the Queen Anne's Revenge. So the lighthouse at Ocracoke Island was built in 1823. And it is the oldest operating lighthouse in North Carolina. So that lighthouse was originally constructed to help steward ships through this inlet that we're getting ready to cross. So if you pass through this inlet, then you could make your way over to New Bern and to Edenton. And the lighthouse here is made of brick and stucco, and has a fourth order Fresnel lens installed in 1854, and it cranks out light in a fixed position for about 15 nautical miles. And many thanks to the scenery developer who took this one on as a project. At the keeper's house here at the Ocracoke Island Lighthouse, I believe, is a bed and breakfast inn that you can book. Anyway, there we go. right over the top. And the Ocracoke Airfield is right here, parallel to the shoreline. But we'll continue to make our way northbound here. We'll make our way across Ocracoke Island. The next inlet we get to will then take us over to Hatteras. There's a U.S. Coast Guard helipad located at Hatteras. There is also a helipad, I believe, at a healthcare facility that's located here too. And then there's Mitchell Field, which is publicly accessible airfield, named after Brigadier General Billy Mitchell. And it's a cool little place to land. It's credit card driven. There is a refueling point there, and then there's a restroom facilities and snack food available. But it would be a great place to fly into and then make your way to the beach for some surf fishing for sure. The flight tonight is going to be considerably shorter than the one that I was planning on last night. We were in the Piper Dakota. But we're making our way back up the coast here tonight in the Twin.
Cessna 3 Alpha Zulu, contact Washington Center on 118.825.
Contact Washington Center on 118.825, 123 Alpha Zulu. All right, so here's our handoff. Washington Center, November 123 Alpha Zulu is with you approximately 2 miles to the south of Hatteras Island, and we are VFR to first flight at Kitty Hawk.
Cessna 123 Alpha Zulu, Washington Center, good afternoon. Ocracoke altimeter 29901.
Ocracoke altimeter 29901, 123 Alpha Zulu. Okay. All right, so we are now crossing the inlet here and making our way over to Hatteras Island. All right, so the next lighthouse we'll encounter is the tallest brick lighthouse in the United States. It's 210 feet tall. It has a black and white spiral. I guess a barber pole might be a good way of describing its pattern. Or a candy cane stripe, one or the other. However you prefer. It's painted black and white. The original lighthouse located here was built 1803, and it was made of sandstone. The current structure was constructed between 1868 and 1870, and it has a first order Fresnel lens originally. But the Fresnel lens has been removed. So, sadly enough. Yep, and we can see the lighthouse right off our 12 o'clock. I'm going to come off of autopilot here and aviate for a minute or three. And we'll endeavor to do a good flyby here of the Hatteras Lighthouse. This is Billy Mitchell Field right underneath us. You can see how close it is to the beach. Alright, we'll stay clear of the cell phone tower obstructions here. And we'll make our way past the lighthouse here. And there we go with our spiral striped friend. Rendered very, very nicely. There's the keeper's house. The lighthouse was moved to its current location from, and I'll point it out when we cross the coastline here, somewhere in the neighborhood of about here. It would be in the water now if they had not moved it. It was moved about 2,500 feet, if I remember correctly. So, and was not disassembled. It was moved intact. And the actual movement of the lighthouse from point A to point B took about 30 days. Definitely an amazing feat of engineering for sure. All right, so should be able to establish our heading bug here, and we will continue to make our way up Hatteras. So the next lighthouse on the tour will be the Body Island Lighthouse, and it is also adorned with a black and white paint job. The stripes on the body island lighthouse are vertical. All right, there we go. So we'll continue northbound and follow Highway 12, which runs up and down the length of the Outer Banks. And if you are joining the live stream or the replay, welcome. We are continuing our East Coast cross-country tour. We are using Say Intentions. We are flying the Cessna 414 from Flightsim.to. And we have already contacted Washington Center, so we'll be making our way into first flight here. And we'll use 122.800 for our Unicom frequency, and we will squawk 1200 shortly. Washington Center, November 123 Alpha Zulu. We are approximately 30 miles to the south of Kitty Hawk First Flight. We are declaring intentions to land at that unmonitored airfield, and we'll be switching to Unicom, and we'll be asking for permission to switch to VFR squawk 123 Alpha Zulu. We'll see how they respond.
Cessna 3 Alpha Zulu, roger. You are cleared to switch to VFR. Maintain VFR at or below 1500 feet. Frequency change approved to Unicom. Squawk remains 6223.
We'll keep squawk at 6223, 123 Alpha Zulu, and we will be changing to Unicom. Washington Center verifying Unicom frequency for 122.800, correct? We'll see if they reply back to that. So we'll announce our landing intentions once we're closer to the first flight. get ourselves here a little bit of altitude. Yeah, this is one of the places on the Outer Banks where North Carolina 12 was rerouted, right? So they built this bridge. And you can see why as we finish the overfly here. You can see where the roadway is. It's just underneath us. It rapidly turns into beachfront. So this continually got washed out, I think, during hurricanes and nor'easters in the winter. So they constructed the bridge to maintain access to the southern part of Hatteras. Continuing to make our way northbound. So the next inlet we'll get to is the Oregon Inlet. And just beyond the Oregon Inlet, we are going to find the Body Island Lighthouse. So I do have some newer freeware scenery that was just released from Flightsim.to. One of the devs there published a 2024 specific set of scenery for Body Island. And it's very well done. The lighthouse, the keeper's house, there's parking lot, there's a boardwalk and a gazebo, so there's one of those places you could get out and roam around if you wanted to do that in the sim. I'll try to remember to include a link in the description of the live stream for downloads of all of those lighthouses that I have mentioned during the flight. Okay, we're coming up here on the Oregon Inlet, and the bridge that was built here as well that kept getting washed out, so they built a bigger bridge and moved it to the sound side, so hopefully they won't have to rebuild this one. This bridge is a monster. And there's our lighthouse friend. You can see some of the scenery assets loading in here. Just take ourselves straight over the top. Again, you can see the paint pattern is different here at Body Island. There's the gazebo and the boardwalk that I was mentioning. Parking places and all sorts of other fun things that the scenery developer added there as well. Grab that if that is of interest. And we're going to make our way over sound side here. Town here, Wanchis. And Dare County Airport is located at Manio. Make our way in here. Lots of fun things to do at on this area of the Outer Banks. So this is a very long bridge. This is actually the terminating point for US 64. This area is for 3 o'clock is Whalebone. And there are vacation homes here, lots of restaurants to eat at, condos to rent, hotels to stay at. Jockey's Ridge State Park, which is just at our 2 o'clock here. Very, very large sand dune formation, part of the National Park Service. It is a protected space. Very, very unique geographical feature here on the banks. All right, so it is time to get our situation situated. November 123 Alpha Zulu, Unicom announcing intentions to land runway 6 at first flight. Current altitude 990 feet, approximately 2 miles to the south of the airfield. making our way in now to first flight. There's a memorial to our clock. And welcome to first flight, Kitty Hawk. All right, go. Here down. Make our way down here to the turnoff. Ourselves off the runway. And here we are at the visitor center. Brake cut on. Why wouldn't you jump out and have a look? I'll walk over to some of the markers. Just the heck of it. Finish up our flight to the memorial. So the workshop and the hangar are located straight ahead. I really do appreciate the level of detail that that was put into this particular place in Flightsim.to. Text on the to be any rate, enjoy the flight. Please like and subscribe to have you as a channel member. There's nothing like being at first flight virtually. Look at that. Path here. Facts about the December 17th day. Here to the workshop. I think that's just totally cool. They went to that level of detail. Inside, but they have photo represented. There's the wash basin sitting on the table inside of the living quarters. But there you go. Again, we'd love to have you as a channel member. Please like and subscribe. Give us a comment. Let me know about the thumbnails. Here, right here. Staying along for the flight today. I hope everybody is keeping well. And until next time.